Perfect.
Welcome to the Video Lab live show, your interactive live stream about video-specific marketing and online video content. I'm just double checking the platforms, making sure everything's running, and it looks like we're good. Once again, LinkedIn a little bit slow. LinkedIn a little bit slow. Well, this live show is interactive, which means at any point you can jump into the comments or the chat and bring your questions or your input to the show. I'm going to bring the chat up right now, and let's get that chat section warmed up just a little bit. Nicholas already jumped in. Cooper, I'm not going to go for your last name right now. You're in. Thanks, Nicholas. If you are just joining us, make sure you jump into the chat. I just want you to do two things. Say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Just two things. Get those fingers warmed up. Jump into the chat. All right. I want to see if you can relate to this scenario. Let's say you put together a great video about your business or your service or your product, and you post it to social media. And after a little bit, you go and you look to see, how many views it has. And it's like 3 views. Maybe it's like 27 views. And then under that post, it says that you can spend, like $100 to boost it and reach like 8,347 people. Can you relate to this scenario? I can on a regular basis on my platforms for the Video Lab, especially. So you shrug your shoulders as you hit that boost button, wondering how you can reach more people without having to boost that post. Have you found yourself in that scenario? That's exactly what Cooper and I are talking about today. Is organic video, is it really dead? Do we have to boost everything to get any traction with our social media videos? We got a couple people jumping in. Niobe from Sioux Falls. Thanks, Niobe. Oh, what does Nicholas say here? Cross the block. That's right. You're pretty close, Nicholas. That's right. Not too far away. Thanks so much for jumping into the chat. Well, I've got Cooper today, and Cooper is a digital media coordinator at Epicosity here in South Dakota and deals with these types of questions, those scenarios that we just went over about social video. He deals with those on a daily basis. So we're going to talk about the future of organic video, ways to create the most effective video for social, and maybe how to navigate when to boost a post or just let it ride. So towards the end of this episode, Cooper is going to give his one thing. So if you don't get anything else from this whole conversation, Cooper's one thing is something that you're not going to want to miss. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Caleb, and I'm a video educator and video creator and founder of the Video Lab, which is fully video education, just like this show, fully video production for social media and website videos, and a video studio that we're in right now. And it's for content creators who need to make quick, simple turnaround video content. So make sure you follow and subscribe to the Video Lab. All the links are down in the description. I've been doing freelance video production since 2012 in and around Sioux Falls. I also have a personal YouTube channel other than the Video Lab. And if you search Caleb Hoover on YouTube, my channel will probably pop up. I started uploading content around the pandemic, about cameras and the different cameras I use, like we're using right now. I just go through settings, tutorials, reviews, and I've grown that to around 23,000 subscribers. And on that channel, I work with filmmaking brands from around the world, making review videos and tutorials, which has led to them sending me to places like Japan and California for camera release parties and content workshops. And hopefully we'll do some more here in 2024. Stay tuned. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how to grow on YouTube, let's say you have a business or a brand, or maybe just your influence, you want to learn more about growing on YouTube, register for my free online YouTube workshop. The link is in the description. I have several lined up over the next few months. The next one, though, is this Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Time. So if you want to learn more about YouTube, I go over things, basics like channel layout, keys to successful content, monetizing your channel without ad revenue. Okay. So you need like a certain amount of like subscribers and watch hours for that, but there's a way to monetize your channel without that. It's free. It's helpful. You can get rolling on the most, in my opinion, the most powerful platform on the web. Check out that link that's down in the description and register for that. This Thursday is one's coming up. Then I've got one in April and then one in May as well. So I started this live stream, the Video Lab live show, as a mostly weekly interactive live show streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn to help you harness the power of online video with video-specific marketing tips, tricks, and trends. I really hope this show brings some value to you and provides things that you can incorporate into your video workflow, like right away this afternoon. Now, if you're just joining us, I've got Cooper from Epicosity, digital media coordinator at Epicosity, on the show, and we'll be talking about creating the most effective organic video. Let me know in the chat if you're mostly using organic video for your business or your brand, or are you boosting most of your posts? I think this is a very interesting poll. Like, are you pretty much only doing organic? Are you boosting most of your posts? Now, a little disclaimer before we get into the conversation. These episodes are just to show some possibilities that you have with video, but doesn't necessarily mean everything's going to work like magic for you. It does require a ton of hard work, consistency, strategy, and possibly even partnering with professionals like Cooper or myself to get the results that you hope for. And with that said, maybe toss some like coffee mug emojis in the chat or something. And let's bring in Cooper. And this guest intro is sponsored by the Breaks Coffee. Hey, Cooper, how's it going?
Good. You?
Good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Now, where we're at, the weather is absolutely beautiful. Do you have plans to like go out and enjoy this nice spring, unusually warm day?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go hit the links after work.
Okay.
I can go over to Elmwood Golf Course. Shout out Sioux Falls Golf.
Right on. So you're a golfer, huh?
Yeah, I like to get out in the summer after work.
I'm a mini golfer.
Mini golfer.
Yeah.
Thunder Road.
Yeah. I mean, wherever.
But you got to come play at our office.
Oh,
we got a 9-hole course in the
all right.
The office at Epicosity.
Invite me over. I'm there. Well,
that sounds good.
So you're doing some digital media coordination management.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that. What does that involve at Epicosity?
So Cooper Chwialkowski for Nick in the chat asking. So it doesn't look like that at all, but yeah, digital media coordinator. And what that's entailed is essentially like a content marketing manager of sorts. So for various clients, it's managing, helping strategize, and then execute on a lot of social media work for various clients, but also some of the more blog organic side of things with SEO. And then also email as well. So automated emails or marketing emails, newsletter style emails. A lot of the different things for clients dependent upon what their needs are.
Yeah, excellent. Now, do you have like a team that you work with, or is it primarily just you doing that?
So I work with the team. So we have growth strategists. I know Sam Thorson was on the show. I'll work with them to come kind of strategize and create the overall strategy for the client. But then, I'll work with a team of art directors, copywriters, videographers, kind of put all the content together and essentially make it all work for the client, depending upon what their needs are.
Nice. Well, Cooper, it's great to have you on the show today. Do you like some coffee?
Yeah.
Well, today we're drinking the Breaks Absolute Blend from the breakscoffeeroasting.com. And this makes a perfect gift. Make sure you order some. They ship all over the nation. But also, if you are local, they're open Tuesday through Sunday, downtown Sioux Falls. Absolute Blend. Thank you, Breaks, for being a guest intro sponsor.
It's delicious, by the way.
Yeah, it is really good. I mean, we brewed it right here in the office. It smells good, tastes good, and we're in for a good conversation, Cooper, with talking about organic video. I'm going to punch these cameras in, and that means we're getting serious. Let's talk a little bit about organic video. First of all, what even is organic video? Like, what are we talking about?
Talk about a loaded question.
No kidding.
Start, but organic video is just the ability to convey a message or a story, and the video aspect, the organic video aspect of it is actually just the medium that you're putting it on. So whether that be a screen at the mall on a digital board, or whether that be on a social media platform, the there's different ways that you just look at video as a way to convey a message or storytelling from an individual or a business or just any entity.
And really, I mean, really, when we're talking about this, like it can be any type of post. It doesn't necessarily have to be video, but what in this episode, we're talking about specifically video. What's the difference between that organic piece and then the paid piece? It's kind of like this battle that we're constantly facing in modern social media, like ads, being a business, you know, trying to figure this stuff out. Like, what's kind of the difference or the balance between those two?
Yeah. So organic is just anything you post out there that can be discovered naturally.
Yeah.
So obviously paid means there's money involved. And each different social media platform kind of has their own way of walling that off and making profit for themselves. Right. So Facebook and Instagram are owned by Meta. You can pay them a lot of money to get your posts visible out there.
Yeah.
YouTube does the same thing with Google Ads.
Mm-hmm.
And then LinkedIn has their own ad platform as well. So there's a whole plethora of different platforms that you can pay to get your videos out there. But there are some strategies that you can do to essentially make your organic reach a little bit more visible. There's some best practices to follow, especially as a business or an influencer. Trying to do different things like that to really get the word out there without having to dig too deep into the pocketbooks. But there's a good mix to also do both as well.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about the platforms, and if you have any questions for Cooper, make sure you toss those into the chat and we can discuss those live right on the show here. But you talked about some of those different platforms that we should be on. Let's go a little bit deeper into some of those platforms. So what are some like key elements? So if let's say we are, you know, just posting some stuff to Instagram, for example, like what are some key elements that we should be like really focusing in on if we are trying to grow this like organic piece of our video marketing?
Yeah, and I like that you phrased it like, let's focus on Instagram, because each platform has their own best practices when it comes to photos, videos, just overall management of the channels. But some key elements of Instagram, keeping the, like, if we're talking specifically videos, so if you're talking videos on Instagram, it's gonna be an Instagram reel. That's just what they kind of call all of their videos. They're anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds, but you can also post long form videos on there too. So there's different things there, but the key elements are hooking the audience right away with whatever the message or story you're trying to do. You have milliseconds to hook their attention.
That's true.
And then you have to have that hook pay off in the video. So no matter how long the video is, you have to keep it entertaining and short, have that hook up front. 3 ways to get rich right now. Even if it's clickbaity. There's different ways to get attention that way. And then you actually have to pay it off and keep people to the end. You can't actively try to sell. I mean, this is a way to try sell, but I mean, it's actively trying to hook them at the beginning, get their attention, pay it off, and then maybe at the end you can actually plug something. I know you do that.
If they're still there.
If they're still there, you know, those drop-off rates on viewership and stuff. But that's a big portion of Instagram specifically. Thumbnails, right? So if someone's on your feed, having a nice thumbnail and uploading a proper image there, that's a big thing on Instagram. Caption SEO, hashtags.
Oh man,
there's just tons of different things per platform.
And we're going to get in depth on some of these things here in a little bit, but that's like a great overview. But I want to go back to kind of that hook. Can we just like talk about that hook? Because like this is a big piece of actually my YouTube workshop, right? Like spending time on that hook. And I have this heat map of video, like putting a good video together, right? The hottest part is that hook. It's like red hot. It's got to be like, if you don't spend any other time on the rest of your video, spend all that time on that hook just to get people in there. Like we're talking like on short form videos, it could be like 1 to 2, 3 seconds that you have somebody. On like a longer form YouTube video, maybe like a 8 to 13 minute video on YouTube, you might have 30 seconds. Might. I would say 8 to 30 seconds to really hook somebody. So can you give us some like examples that maybe you've seen successful, you've seen work of like some good hooks. You mentioned something like maybe a little clickbaity,
Right.
that's okay as long as you deliver, right?
Yes. Yep.
What are some other elements of that hook, and why is it so important?
Sure. Yeah. No, it's very important because there's just so much content being produced by so many different businesses and influencers.
Mhm.
How do you stand out and how do you optimize per platform to do that? And that is with a hook,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to video. Some of the big things you can do with that are um, X is you need 3 ways to X
Yep.
in 30 days.
Right.
You need um,
Almost
here,
like a
here,
list
it's a
that
lot of
yeah.
list-based stuff.
Yeah.
You'll see that Instagram, TikTok,
Yep.
Facebook. It's a lot of ranking and
Yeah.
list-based stuff, or like things that you find interesting. I bet you didn't know blank
Yeah.
about blank.
Right.
It's kind of filling the gaps there, but
Mhm.
it's all about trying to entertain them. So if you have a problem and you almost like reverse engineer it,
Yeah.
so it's like, what are we actually solving for this
Yeah,
customer?
that's a
What
good way to put it,
right?
yeah.
So if you reverse engineer it that way, then that kind of leads into the hook.
Yeah, right on.
Another
that.
big tool is just like ChatGPT, being able to utilize that for ideation.
Yeah.
So please help me create hooks for solving this problem for this type of customer.
Yeah.
And if you're just a business owner, like that's one of the most powerful tools you can do if you're going to be the one making the videos or just trying to figure out what to post about.
Yeah. I like that.
Getting that ideation from a different source, but also just looking at those overall arching problems that your consumer has and then crafting the hook from there, but keeping it really short and concise.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, does that hook have to be like somebody speaking, or can it be like text on the screen or something?
I'd say a mixture of both.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are scrolling
Yep.
without audio on.
Yeah.
So it can be good. I'd always recommend subtitles.
Yep.
But yes, even if you have subtitles like right in the middle of the video, let's say,
Yeah.
maybe have something at the top or bottom that said like, did you know this about
Right.
whatever your business is, or
Yeah.
about the hook to pay off the video. So
I've noticed a lot, like a big trend, and this kind of goes with a question that Naomi is talking about here that'll pop up in just a sec. But like, it's almost like you have text that kind of pops up, and I'm talking reels specifically, like Instagram reels, Facebook reels, where it's like a hook of a question or something, and then maybe like a couple other lines that kind of like introduce or get, like whet the appetite a little bit, but then it's like, read more in the description. It's like, so it's not even necessarily, it's almost like a background shot, right?
Yeah.
Of somebody doing something. Maybe you're like working at your computer or you're setting up your food or whatever, depending on whatever niche you're in. But then it's like the hook, that's text, then something else pops up with text, and then it's like everything else
in the caption.
Yeah, everything's in the description.
Yeah. And that's, to like your point, Instagram specifically is doing that. So I feel like all these different social media platforms are kind of a different life cycle. So if you look at Instagram, they're very, very short reels. Like you said, it would be like a video of us two just kind of in the background, but then all the stuff would come on the screen.
Yeah.
Learn more in the link in our bio.
Yeah.
Or in the description as well. So then it's long form. That's that SEO. Trying to put as many keywords as I can in the captions.
Nice. Yeah.
I feel like that's best for like creators trying to show tips and tricks.
Gotcha.
Or like, someone trying to promote like visiting a different country, like if you were like a travel vlogger. Stuff like that. For businesses, it can be a little bit different. You're not going to do like super long form.
Yeah, right.
Things like that. But it's going to be more maybe like a customer experience or different things like that where you want to show that in the video. So Instagram is different than Facebook, is kind of really just trying to promote the most viral type reels clips. I feel like Facebook doesn't do a great job of pushing your pages reels as much as just viral stuff that everyone's clicking on.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I'll look at some of my stats on like Facebook of, so I post reels from this episode, right? Throughout the week. And I'll look at some of the stats on Facebook, and I'm just like, oh my God, like that intro that I was saying where it's like 3 views, right?
Yeah.
Like that's some of these reels, because I'm not boosting any of this stuff.
Right.
I've only boosted one thing and it wasn't even in regards to this episode. And so it's like, you know, trying to almost like have that like just consistency, just like always showing up that's where it's at for me with some of this stuff, because I don't have the budget to boost every single reel that I put out, you know?
Yep,
So
that makes sense.
like I have to be okay with only getting like 3 views on some
Yeah.
of these
You have to
reels.
think about, sometimes, you know, some creators tell you to delete and try again at a later time, and it can just blow up.
Yeah.
Some say never delete your stuff. Some say
Right.
to archive it. There's just a bunch of different things that can make a video hit or miss. But
Yeah.
if you stay consistent with your hooks and paying that off, I feel like over time, that's when you build that following, that loyal community. And that's when you can post that other type of content.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily like tips and tricks or trying to sell
Right.
or
Yeah.
super hooky. Like, then it allows for you to kind of have a little bit more freedom.
Yeah.
As long as you're consistent with that.
That's awesome. All right. Nobody asks, how do you manage trends? When do you get on board? When is it too late? Or should you be hopping on trends?
You see a lot of businesses hop on trends. It's kind of a good play for like a small business or even a larger company.
Yeah.
To do something fun around the office, right? It's like kind of those TikTok sounds or Instagram reel sounds. And then you hop on the trend and that seems to go more viral. It's kind of about like humanizing your brand in that way.
I like that.
But when it comes to managing trends, I know there's some online tools, but it's really about just kind of, I use a couple of accounts that I don't follow anyone or like or interact with anything. And then I'll just scroll through the main feeds of those channels. So they're not like influenced by anything.
Right.
The only thing it's really influenced then by is like watch times. But then at least you can see kind of the most popular stuff in the world.
Yeah.
That allows for you to kind of get at least ideation for maybe make a variation of a trend. Or if you really want to just copy and paste, that's what social media has turned into anyway.
Totally. Yeah.
You can hop on trends that way.
Yep.
And when is it too late? We've done stuff with Epicosity's account where it's maybe even like a month later than something was really blown up, and we'll still get good traction because it's almost like a mini like nostalgic moment, right? It's like, oh, I remember that trend from a month ago because people have such short-term memory loss about everything. I feel like it's almost, I wouldn't say like never too late, but you know, a month, 2 months down the road, you can still try to get away with some of that stuff.
Now, this is kind of goes along with Nobi's question, but like, you know, when we're thinking about organic video and not boosting anything, and we've kind of been on the topic of reels, and I think reels is a huge part of this. So I think like, you know, we can continue with that conversation, but like, how much does like the viral audio play with some of these things, like, or trending audio maybe is a better way to put it, not viral audio, but like having those audio clips that you almost see on a regular basis. Like how much does that play in some of like just getting that organic flow going? You know what I mean?
It's a big part of it, especially on Instagram and TikTok. YouTube Shorts is getting there too, but making sure to save those audios that you do think are funny and they have a lot of interaction. If they have a ton of videos posted under that original audio, it's gonna be harder to actually like trend organically. But if it's one that has, let's say, 1,200 uses, and even Instagram has that little up and up feature,
little arrow,
little arrow, it could be worthwhile to do a variation of that trend or try that trend as well, but using that audio specifically. So that's where it's tough too. So you got to make sure to save it on the individual platform, and then go back in and click on that audio. And then utilize that and like upload your own over it. So it can be tough that way, from an editing perspective to get the original audio, but it definitely can be time consuming as well.
Okay, so we've been talking about like some of the different platforms. We've been spending a lot of time on Reels, right? How much does, like, for example, a target audience play into just an organic video, just getting eyeballs on it?
Yeah, that all comes into like the strategy up front. So what we talked about with like for our clients, who are we trying to hit with this video and what platform are we on? So the target audience can determine a lot of that. If it's a lot of business professionals, let's maybe just stick to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. But if it's just kind of a fun local community trying to sell like a brewery around town, right? You're
Right.
going to want to be on all those platforms, just having fun. Um, Audiences of all kind will be on that, but the audience is kind of everything when it comes to creating the overall strategy and then the actual video.
Yeah.
So you got to
Right.
think about how your target audience is going to look at your content and be
Yeah.
like, how can I relate to that? So social media is all about being social and community building. So if you're able to lock in on, let's say, um, let's stick with that brewery example.
Yeah.
So like, let's think about how all the people that go brewery hopping here in Sioux Falls, how would you want to communicate to them? What do they look like? Or what kind of age range are
Yep.
they on? And then how to effectively create that hook, create that video that
Yeah.
would ultimately get them to click on something and then make an action like a or a comment on that.
Right.
But then asking them to do something beyond that, like come into our storefront or purchase our beer somewhere. I mean, that's a whole nother ask too
Yeah.
when it comes to video. So
It's like that call to action part is like, what do we do there?
yeah. It's a
First
whole
of all-
different ballgame.
First of all, how
comes
do
to
we
that.
get them to watch it? And then second of all, how do we get them to act?
Yeah. And that action could just be liking the video.
Yeah, totally.
Instead, or staying till the end of the video, not
Yep.
even liking it. You got to think about all that. But yeah, it's all about cultivating what that target audience is going to be on for the platform and then how they kind of want to be communicated to. That'll affect your strategy.
And I think to go along with that too is like the target audience is probably, if you're making video content specifically for that audience, they're probably more likely to share it as well.
Yeah.
You know, kind of amongst their community and online influence that they have as well. So just that share, I think for organic video, if you can get people to share that video, that's huge.
Yeah. Any sort of engagements on those organic videos is just a positive, because I think there's the Instagram CEO or someone high up in Instagram said like their number one most amount of time spent on is like in the messages section. So that's just how many, it was like stories first and then messages, but that swapped to now Messenger.
Oh, interesting.
Because so many people just share stuff with their friends, right? So
here's a reel.
That's exactly what it is. So if it's like a fun event that's going to be happening, and your friend sends your video to another friend, it's like, hey, we should go to this. That is killer for your organic video. That's that's one of the recipes to actually kind of dominate when it comes to organic video, is like the virality / shareability.
And that, I mean, that definitely comes down to like that education piece, but not just that, but like the entertainment piece as well. So like, can you be creating effective content that is shareable? I feel like it's huge.
And that comes down to the hook at the beginning is entertaining. I'd say the content is educational. And then the end is a mixture of both.
Love it. Okay, I'm just going to jump in here. I want to bring this up. If you are looking at creating your own video content, I put together what's called the Video Lab Video Playbook, and it's a free download, free resource for you to go, and it's just a starting point for making your own video content. Here's kind of the table of contents. You can see like crafting compelling video content, optimizing videos for your local engagement, maybe your own community where you're at. If you have questions about making your own online video, or if you need help, this is a good starting point, this Video Lab Video Playbook. The link is in the description. It's free. You can download it, use it however you want, but it's there for you. I just wanted to throw that in there as we're talking about organic video and kind of making the best organic video, most effective organic video. That might be a good resource for you. My cameras are all over the place here. And if you have any questions for Cooper about organic video, or just best video practices in general, make sure you toss those into the chat and we'll answer those live on the show here. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about, you know, a couple best practices, right?
Yep.
I feel like there's still a few more that we can touch on. And one of those might be like the time to post. Is there like a good time frame? Like, when should I post video content? Is there any rhyme or reason to it?
every publishing platform like Later, Gain, Hootsuite will tell you there is, because based on data, it's always like, oh, you should post on Tuesday at 3 a.m.
Right. Yeah.
I find that it's more a combination of two things. There's a little bit of luck on when you post it if there's a lot of people on, but also it's just that quality and overall, not saying like video production quality, but quality of the video relating back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, right.
When it comes to, are you effectively hitting what your target audience kind of wants to see?
Yeah.
Are
Some
you
of the pain points?
Are you paying off?
Yeah.
In that video, kind of what you said you would.
Yep.
And then just the discoverability of that video. So like in the caption, the thumbnail, all of the other little factors that kind of play into how searchable / how visually appealing that video is just another big thing. Not so much the time of day.
Yeah.
I know I did talk about how some people do say you can delete a video and try again at a different time, but I feel like if people are going to share it with their friends or the like-minded community, they're going to do that if you kind of effectively did that in the first place.
It might almost be better just to keep that video there and
repost
like,
later.
Repost it later or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Give it a week.
And I think like a lot of times we can start like overthinking a lot of this stuff. And like, I think this is one of those things that we can spend a lot of like too much time overthinking of like time of day, because you do any research, it's like, it's like you said, 3 a.m. in the morning. Well, do I want to like go through and like, or do I want to wake up and post it, or do I want to schedule it for that? Like, I think we can get caught up in that piece of it a lot, of like, rather than just, I'm just going to make some video, I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like you're better off just consistently posting one video per day, every day for 3 years.
Yeah. Right.
Over time.
That consistency piece.
Consistency. Then the time of day just becomes really an afterthought.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Well, Andy asks, thanks, Andy, for jumping in. Our company does video quite a bit, but our static posts do better. Is it our audience? Is there a length we should keep them at? So does there any tricks to that as we kind of look at that video content piece?
So as like a content manager type role, I have for each of our clients, we have a big content mix. So we're working with graphic designers. So we have those static posts. We have photographers. So we'll just do static imagery. If a video is not performing well, that doesn't necessarily mean like it's a bad video or like it's not for the target audience. Sometimes it just takes that consistency over time, like we were talking about, or maybe it's time to try some of those hooks we talked about earlier at the beginning of your videos. A lot of the things we do post are just like events going on at work, right? So it could be just like kind of pan over videos.
Yeah.
Maybe fun things going on, like a luncheon or something like that. But maybe there's ways to think about those in a different way, where it's just like why working at Epicosity is a great place to work.
Right.
Right. So if you flip kind of those type of videos that you're going to create anyway, they can go alongside those static graphics and photos in a good way. But yeah, it's just about consistency and just trying to see what works with your target audience as well.
Yeah. And I think like as far as that length goes, like, is there a length we should keep them at? I mean, that varies so much.
Yeah.
Like
depends on what it is, right?
Like you'll see things on like about YouTube shorts, like 34 seconds is you're the ideal time for a YouTube short. But then like there's other videos that are different lengths that pop off and get millions of views anyway. So it's like I think that kind of just play with the content a little bit and see what people are engaging with, and then double down on that. Right.
Another big thing about it is as a small business, large business, it's kind of cool if you can have a someone who's the face of that channel, the face of the page. It kind of humanizes your brand then.
Yeah.
So if you have kind of a spokesperson that can be the person talking, like a lot of these channels do just want people like talking heads.
Yeah.
So if you just take a selfie video and put some subtitle captions on it, that can go a long way when it comes to video. So if you have someone that's willing to kind of own that or be the face, especially if it's like the CEO or someone higher up in a company, that's a great way just to directly speak with the consumers, because social media is like one of the only ways you can instantaneously chat with all of your customers.
Right. Yeah.
So if you can have someone that can do that,
I kind of think like
thing.
social media is almost like that is like modern day networking, right? So it's like
it is
being able to kind of create some of these videos. If you have a face of a person, it's like you're getting to know those people, like building trust. All these things are happening before your potential customers even walk through the door.
Yeah.
I love that. Hey, it looks like you have a fan here, Cooper. Nicholas says Cooper is one of the best,
Nick.
genuine, cool, smart, and talented. Thanks.
Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, that's right. I love that. Okay. So we're talking about some best practices, right? We kind of went over, the hook, which we spend a lot of time on because that is huge.
Yes.
We talked about target audience. We talked about, when we should post some of this. Now, we're kind of talking about like this. We're not talking about this hero content. We're not talking about Super Bowl commercials, right?
Right.
Up here. We're talking about organic, like everyday style posts that you can post on a regular basis.
Yep.
Now, when we think of the actual like structure of the video or like what we're posting on these different platforms, tell us a little bit about the importance of that vertical video. Now, I did a whole episode a couple weeks back about vertical video because it's that important.
Yeah.
Like a dedicated episode of the Video Lab live show about vertical video. Tell us a little bit about some of the best practices when it comes to vertical video. Why should we be doing that?
Yeah. I think the first thing I would recommend anyone is have an iPhone. But that's not a plug for iPhone. I just think it interacts with the platform quite well. But yeah, vertical video is everything. It takes up more real estate on the phone.
Yep.
When someone's scrolling through any of the different channels. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikToks, their LinkedIn videos. Vertical can be used on all of them.
Yep.
Varying times and lengths that you can post per platform, which makes each one unique. Going back to by channel strategies and things like that.
Yep.
But vertical video is just kind of the way the landscape has changed. And I don't see it changing in the future.
Right. I mean,
anytime soon.
We're only going to be on our devices more.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not going to be any less. I don't feel like. And it's one thing too. Like if I'm watching TV, which I very rarely do, I basically only watch TV during football season. During the commercials, I go to my phone anyway. And I think I'm with the majority of people there. Like if commercials start popping on, well, I'm going to my phone anyway.
It's a constant need to be entertained, right?
Yeah, totally.
No, that's completely the way it is though. But yeah, vertical video is just, and it's more natural to record. So if you are taking a selfie video or a video of employees at work, or maybe you got a sale going on and you want to promote that, there's just, it feels more like connected.
Right.
That's my personal opinion on it, but I feel like you can be more human with it when you're just talking.
Yeah.
Kind of showing off stuff that way. When stuff shot portrait, that's great for YouTube.
Right.
It's great for traditional. You got your 15, 30-second traditional spots. It's good for OTT ads on Hulu when someone is on a streaming service.
Yep.
All those different things.
Yeah. Connected TV.
Yep. But vertical video is just kind of the way for everything else video, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like honestly, I would say if you're doing any, unless it's long form, if you're doing any organic style video, even if you want to boost it in the future, let's say, make that vertical.
Yeah. And you can, and it's great because you can put money behind the.
Absolutely.
Right away, I think a lot of the platforms like Facebook ads was kind of tough on vertical videos, like boosting from Instagram, things like that. But now they've come full circle.
Yeah.
We boost with our clients all the time on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. YouTube short ads.
Right.
Like that's a big thing when you're scrolling through YouTube shorts is you'll get an ad in 10, 15 swipes.
And I think one of the things too, like, we talked about this in that episode with Justin about vertical video is like some of these platforms, they are now like prioritizing that vertical, that 9:16 look of your video for those ads.
Right.
And if you don't, then it's going to create, you don't know what kind of background it's going to get because it'll like crop your video to where it's just in the center of the screen.
Right.
Right. And then you don't know what that background is going to look like. It could be like just totally black, or it could be like, I don't know, blurred image or something. That those platforms control what comes behind that, that image. If it's like a normal 16:9 video ad. But where, like you said, If you do a vertical, it takes up the most real estate on that screen. And so that ad is probably going to be more effective. And this really hurts me to say, and I said this in this episode as well, this past episode, is like from a traditional production standpoint on my end, like it hurts because you're used to like framing things up a certain way, right? Like the rule of thirds. You know, you have like the line that you line your subject up on. Well, shooting vertical changes a lot of that, and a lot of it is like now centered framing and things like that. And so it's almost like kind of relearning a lot of like video production ways of doing things from a production standpoint.
Right. And you hear traditional media, right?
Yep.
Commercials, even I'd put like OTT and connected TV in there.
Yeah.
That's a traditional way to shoot.
Yeah.
Right. That's traditional media,
Yep.
a traditional way to shoot.
Yep.
Now, if you have a phone, you can post to your business's platform instantaneously.
Totally.
Through a live stream or just vertical content that you can just shoot that way.
Yeah. And even YouTube now, you can do vertical live streaming.
Yeah. Which is a cool feature.
That's a brand new feature as of like last week or the week before.
Yeah.
A brand new feature to YouTube is that vertical streaming. So, I mean, things are going vertical because that's where we're spending our time.
Yeah. Yep. And it's crazy. But if you look at the life cycle of a platform, if your business is on TikTok, you'll notice that they're starting to try to be YouTube a little bit more, where they're having you upload 9:16, right? Or 16:9.
16:9 horizontal. Yep.
Horizontal videos that are longer, less produced.
Interesting. Yeah.
Over a minute long, over 3 minutes long. And then there's an option on TikTok to make it full screen now.
Oh,
so it makes you turn your phone sideways if you're engaging the audience that way. So that then again plays into what platform are you on? There's different things. They're all different businesses, so they have different business models. And ultimately, if you can make any of the consumer on the different platform stay on the platform longer, you'll be rewarded with engagements and reach. And it's kind of a game that way, which is not necessarily fair. I know, like you said, I know one of the comments was about the company does video quite a bit.
Yep.
And it's just like, is that not your target audience? Well, it's tough because there's just so many different factors that go into it. Even if it's a vertical video and you do a hook, but it doesn't necessarily have the third leg of paying it off, then maybe you won't get the engagement that you could if you just kind of stuck to those kind of best practices that way.
And I like what you said is like those platforms, every platform is the same. They want you to stay on that platform as long as possible. So if you can create that that educating, entertaining video content, people are more likely to stay on those platforms. And the way I kind of put it is like your videos will be rewarded then, basically, is like by showing up more. So,
or you can pay, or you can pay money out of pocket.
Yeah.
You can put big budgets behind it. You can get the word out there.
Which I do want to get to, because I think that is a big piece of this as we kind of, are talking about organic video and kind of creating some of the best, most effective organic video. Like, how do we know, or how do we kind of navigate this area of what to boost and what to let just kind of ride?
Yeah.
Like, is there certain, I don't know, tricks to the trade or something like that like would kind of determine like, oh, I better put some money behind this because maybe it's getting a little bit more engagement or something.
Yeah.
Like already, is that something that I should boost? Can you talk into that a little bit?
Yeah. So with all of our different clients, more times than not, we do have a boosting budget.
Yeah.
If we do social media management for that client. So one of the biggest things that we do when we see something perform well, first and foremost, a lot of it is video, right? A lot of it's video content that we're boosting. We'll boost static photos and graphics that we make too.
Right.
But the biggest component of it is let the platform tell you what to boost by looking at what's performing well organically.
Yeah.
So if you do have a picture that has 50 likes on your business page and you posted a video that has 5 likes and 30 views, even if you put money behind that video, if you have a $50 budget and you put 25 on the video one and you put $25 boosting the photo that has way more likes, that one's going to be the one that still performs well.
because it already started that way.
It started organically well, so obviously it's resonating with people
Yeah,
more,
right.
and it's only going to get to more targeted people,
Yeah.
right? So you can, with any boosting, you can
Yep.
set who you're targeting. You set your budget, your duration, your location, any psychographics as well.
Mhm.
Or you can just boost to people that like your page, or
Yeah.
people similar to people that like your page. There's
Yep.
a lot of different places you can target. And when you boost to those people with a post that's already doing well, then it's only going to perform better. I
Right.
mean, it logically just makes sense that way, right?
Hmm.
It's like trying to if you put money behind something that you're trying to force it out
Yeah,
there,
right.
then there's no guarantee that that's still going to resonate well.
Yeah.
It might tell you a lot of impressions on that
Yeah.
post, but did people leave comments?
Right.
Do you have more
The
shares?
engagement piece of it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I like that because, and I think one of the great things about all this too is like you can experiment with it so much, you know, like you can try different types of videos
Mhm.
and try, like, maybe it's like client testimonials, or maybe it's around the office type stuff.
Yep.
Behind the scenes of a video shoot or something
Yep.
like that. Like, and then as you kind of experiment with these different things, like what you said, one of these pieces will eventually resonate with your audience. So
Yeah.
it's like kind of finding that rhythm of like, okay, I just need to I'm going to try a bunch of different things, and then maybe something will catch with that audience, and then start doubling down on that. Right. And
Yeah.
then you can start like putting money behind some of those things. Yeah. I love that whole concept. It's almost like a game.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
it
li-
is gamified for sure.
I like playing that game.
Yeah. No, it's all about finding that stride. So
Yep.
if I could, I would just post a consistent video each day, but there's
Yeah.
different content mixes
Right.
of stuff. There's events going on for
Totally.
businesses. There's things like that you have to be wary of too.
Yeah.
But
Holidays.
holidays, there's different things like that. But if you're able to consistently put out video that,
Yeah.
if you kind of found one or two that are similar-ish and they performed well,
Yep.
like if you can just stick to that for an entire year straight
Right.
somehow,
Yeah.
I think that's how you really just build those followings.
Yeah. And I think that's a very important point of that consistency piece, because like if you put one video out there like every month or a couple months, well, that's not going to be a good gauge of
Right.
what is capable.
It might perform really well.
Yeah, it might
But
perform
then your
well.
next one's
Yeah,
a month
exactly.
later.
Like 3 views.
Right.
But like having that consistency piece is, I would say, consistency almost over everything when it comes to organic video.
Yes.
Just like get stuff out there on a regular basis.
Yep. Even if you have to start somewhere where it is those pan over
Yeah.
style videos of just something going on, and then
Yep.
maybe you piece together 3 or 4 clips and call
Right.
it good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And there's
That's
like a
wonderful start.
bunch of templates. Like Instagram
Yeah.
has a bunch of templates that you can
CapCut.
use. CapCut has a bunch of templates. Like even if you just have pictures, make them into a video form.
Yep.
And use some of those templates. Use some like trending audio.
Yep.
See what happens, right?
Yeah.
See what happens.
There's people think there's a right and wrong, but you have
Yep.
to just get out there and try what works for you and your
Yeah.
business.
So I'm running some experiments right now with some of my own content on the video lab. So like for this this YouTube workshop that I have coming up, I ran a static image ad, or not an ad, a boosted post.
Yep.
A little bit different than an ad. A boosted post. And I targeted different areas, right?
Mhm.
My next one for April, I'm going to make a video and boost that. And I want to see like which one performs a little bit better.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, it kind of goes back to that game piece, right? Like
A/B testing.
yeah,
for
just
sure.
test it out, see what's working, and go with it.
Yeah.
If the static post is working better than a video, well, then I'll probably boost a static post like that again. And that is my first boosted post of the video lab.
Yeah.
As well.
Which you'll probably get rewarded more, a little bit more, right? They're trying to hook you too.
Totally.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you just be wary of that. Your numbers might be good.
Yeah.
Way better right away.
And yeah, right. And it's like, oh, look at how many people I am reaching, when in, a lot of my reels aren't necessarily reaching that many people. So you kind of have to, measure it, right?
But yeah, it's all about if you or your business are gonna go like the paid route, add variation. So what we like to do a lot of times, we'll have one ad group that's targeting people interested in whatever your business is.
Yep.
maybe in whatever region you're in plus 50 miles, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe we'll get some of the surrounding areas too. But then we'll upload like 6 different posts in that same ad group.
Gotcha.
And then Facebook's ad manager, LinkedIn's ad manager, YouTube's, Google Ads
Yep.
owns that one. But the ad manager will do the work for you,
Right.
and put the best creative to the top. So you, instead of, you can do your video,
Yeah.
but you can just upload 3 ads into
Gotcha.
an ad set,
Yeah.
and then let the platform just
Decide.
do the work for you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a great idea. I should. Any way to create less work.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've kind of come to the time where if you don't get anything else from this whole episode, if somebody's watching, they haven't gotten anything from this whole conversation, what's one thing, Cooper, that they could take away from this episode that you would want to share? One thing.
Sure.
Cooper's one thing. Here we go.
My one thing, if you are a business owner and you have a page and you're trying to go out there, is pick up the phone and hit record first of all.
Okay.
But you can kind of strategize. Who do you think your target audience is? You already know that as a business owner. Let's hook them at the beginning.
Yep.
Let's pay off that hook by educating them.
Nice.
And then kind of wrap that up with a call to action at the end of that video. It can all be done on your phone.
Yep.
Talking heads work great. But if you have to just do words on the screen and no audio, that's fine too. But pick up the phone, hit record.
Nice. Love it. And that's so simple. That's like something that we can do like right after this episode.
Yep.
We can go and do that. So fantastic. Well, Cooper, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
Organic video. Is organic. How about this? Is organic video dead? No, it's not dead. You just need some tools and different
practice.
things to get it rolling. So it's definitely not dead. Well, it's great having you on the episode.
Yep. Thank you.
Enjoy your golf game.
Yeah. Let's enjoy this warm weather.
Yeah, that's right. And it's unusually warm for where we live. That's for sure. All right. Well, I'm going to take you off camera, and then I just got some closing things here, and then we'll be done. So, all right. Thanks everyone who jumped into the chat, asked questions, brought your input. I appreciate that. And I just want to say again, thank you to Cooper for being on the episode talking about organic video. Organic video is not dead. Just got to practice it. That's it. And consistency. So let's bring this up again. Make sure that if you are interested in the YouTube platform, go and sign up for my free online YouTube workshop. The link's in the description. It's this Thursday. If you can't make this Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Time, I've got one in April, and then I've got one in May as well. And those, we go through different things. All the information is in the description. We'll go through some different things, and it'll be a time for Q&A at the end of the workshop. So make sure you go sign up for that. And then you also create a free profile in the community of the Video Lab. So make sure you go sign up for that. If you haven't already, download the free video playbook. It'll help you get started on video, making your own online video. And next week, make sure you tune in. Next Monday, I've got Emily Lowry, who is a full-time YouTuber from the UK, and we're going to be chatting about the YouTube platform and how. And she'll agree with me that YouTube is the most powerful platform that you can be on right now if you are making online video content. So next week at noon Central, I'll have Emily from the UK, full-time YouTuber, and we'll kind of talk about her journey on YouTube and why she thinks that YouTube is so powerful for your business, for your influence, for hobbies, whatever that might be. So make sure you tune in next Monday. Again, thanks to everyone for jumping in the chat. And Cooper, again, thanks for being on the stream. We'll see you next Monday.